Home Office official in charge of migration and borders receives a £13,000 a year bonus on top of his £145,000 a year salary for doing a good job. Good afternoon all, and if this won't boil your piss, it's certainly boiling mine. The Director General, Home Office Director General, Glyn Williams, receives a £13,000 a year bonus on top of his very, very large salary for doing a job well done. Now, we've seen Nigel Farage highlight what's going on at our borders in around Kent, with thousands and thousands of young fighting age males making their way onto our shores with the Royal Navy, the RNLI and the French Navy as basically a glorified taxi service. Now let's have a look at the figures and whether this £13,000 a year bonus is justified. In 2019, and these figures are reported in the Mail Online, in 2019 1,892 illegal immigrants made it onto our shores illegally. In 2020, that figure rose, are you ready for this, to 8,420. Yeah? So I don't know what the percentage is, but what's that? 3, 4, 5 times more? And we have the man in charge of it all rewarded for it with a £13,000 bonus. Now, Priti Patel has been talking quite a lot about trying to do something about this, so I've got a bit of a question. I talked with a senior member of the Conservative Party. When I say senior, I mean a well-respected MP in the Conservative Party, who tells me that Priti Patel ordered the Home Office to do something about it and increase the boats to help try and stop this. But all that's happened, and I don't know whether Priti Patel meant this, all that's happened is that they've just turned into a taxi service. Now, nobody wants to see anyone crossing the channel and losing their lives. But I mean, all of this it's so obviously a constructed, organised, industrialised process. The whole thing is a sham, and the British government have to be in on it. I'm not saying Priti Patel's in on it. We know she's had problems with the Home Office doing what she tells them. Sir Philip Rutland was the permanent secretary when Priti was placed as Home Secretary, and they didn't seem to get on, did they? As we now know through court cases and everything else. But he's received a large sum of money and a payoff to keep his gob shut. But he was quite rightly removed. She's the whether you like her or whether you don't like her, I can't help it, but I do. She was elected as an MP. She's placed in power as a minister and as a secretary, well, home secretary, and the civil servants just do as should be doing as they're told. They don't set policy. The civil services job is to enact government policy. Obviously they advise, they tune, they advise, but it's down to the elected government, elected by the British people, to push the manifesto. And part of that the Conservative manifesto was to stop this ferry service, this taxi service from Dover to Calais. But it's just getting worse. It's getting worse. If you watch Nigel Farage's reports, excuse me, not COVID. If you watch Nigel Farage's reports, now he's got a main spot on GB News, and I have to say he's doing really, really well. But if you see his reports, it's getting worse. I mean, it's getting worse. So what is going on? What is going on? But should a man in an official position be given a bonus when the numbers go from 1,892 in 2019 to 8,420 in 2020? I don't think he should. But who knows? in this upside down, topsy-turvy world where up is now down, left is now right, and if you want to call yourself a blancmange, you can. Who knows?